what if Spyro is also what led me to become a furry? Because there's all these animal people,
And that definitely wouldn't surprise me.
Hello to the internet, and welcome back to Johnny saying "wow" during our 5 seconds of silence.
Wow!
Jeez.
Or Owen Wilson voice. Wow.
We were talking about off camera, and we decided we should talk about it on camera. I'm going to a chiropractor right now, and
is a
Spyro,
unfortunately populated as kind of a dubious industry, just due to the nature of chiropractors being, what would you say, essentially snake oil salesmen?
the ones I'm going to are at
There's
least.
no reason.
And unfortunately, a lot of like spa and like masseuse and like wellness center
The
things of that similar nature all tend to kind of fall into that category, unfortunately.
I'm not even sure if I would call chiropractic just like going for massages or getting a spa or whatever.
No, there's obviously more to it than that. There's intended to be sort of like doctors who specialize in back pain and helping you make sure that your spine and everything is okay.
Like my spine is misaligned, so that's why I'm going. Like I'm trying to get. They're supposed to help me get it back to where it's supposed to be.
Right.
But and I'm still gonna go, obviously, because I do want my back to be fixed. When I went, my last time I went, yeah, my last session, my last treatment or whatever, before my treatment, they're like, oh, real quick, we have this presentation we want you to watch first. And I'm like, okay. And they brought me to the side and started like a slideshow, and there's this person that came out to like talk and whatnot, and they're like, do you believe living past 100 is possible? I'm like, yeah. People have done it
Multiple times
right
throughout all kinds of history.
and they're like, yeah, I'm like, well, with chiropractic or whatever, it's even more like possible. Like with correcting your back or whatever makes it even easier to live longer or something like that.
Okay, you still got kind of a point there. I mean, I understand how having a spine that actually works in the way it's supposed to, especially to the elderly age, so you have, suffering from things like osteoporosis or herniated discs or other things like this, your spinal cord possibly get wrapped up and paralyzing you or something,
Right.
Which all are not uncommon problems for people of elderly age and whatnot. I can understand how having a healthy back and spinal cord and everything can actually be a part of helping live longer. There's a lot of other factors that go into it here, but I can see how that could be a part of it. So
Right.
yeah, I'll give them kind of a point.
And then they're saying like, we believe that something like it might even be possible to live to 150 or whatever. Like someday if we all like take care of ourselves or something, which whatever. Anyway, and then that is not even something I had like a huge problem with. Like 150 might be a bit of a stretch, but I mean whatever. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Live healthier, live longer. I get it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But then they were like saying that taking care of your back also might like help you prevent getting sick and whatnot. They're saying you might find yourself getting sick less often than you might have used to. And then the huge kicker, the biggest red flag was like, it might even help you with COVID.
Okay, hang on. Listen, I don't think there's any correlation or connection whatsoever between having a healthy back and being more immune to already preventable diseases.
Yeah.
Or any correlation between having a healthy spine and not getting sick in like your lungs and whatnot from a viral disease.
Right. So
Those are two completely different sciences.
yeah. So that's what I mean by the chiropractors I'm going to are snake oil salesmen. I'm still going because I want them to fix my back, but I do not believe any of the bullshit that they're spouting.
Well, the reason why I brought up the spa resorts and stuff like that and whatnot, those sort of wellness centers, is because a lot of them have that similar sort of thing where they try to promise you the idea of living healthier, better, instead of starting out with their vitamins and minerals and shakes and other like healthy living essential blah 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 whatevers.
Yeah.
When really, if you're that worried about it, just take one of those like 1-a-day multivitamins. Seriously, that'll give you everything you need. And probably and then some. Like genuinely, if you really want to.
I don't know. Are you talking about like the same vitamins that like Dr. Oz is always trying to like promote?
No, I'm talking about genuine, like the actual, like, just an adult vitamin, multivitamin.
I don't know if those are actually as effective as people try to make them out to be either.
No, to supplement. So if like you're lacking nutrients or you can't get them normally through whatever, or you just need a boost or whatever because you don't feel like you're getting enough of them, then you take a multivitamin and we'll give you.
Fair enough. I didn't get to read it because I thought I would be able to get another chance, but this thing right here, the sign, it said the Yeti is not here, and the Yeti was never here as far as you know. Signed the sorceress.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So how are we supposed to, I guess, open the gate?
I have to free the Yeti, which I think is in the next hub world. I think there's one playable character in each hub world that I can free or whatever.
Wait, so you play as the Yeti?
Yes, he's another playable character.
But
there's another Yeti.
But the skill book that says you're supposed to.
There are 2 Yetis. One of them's a good guy, one of them's not.
Of course.
Oh, there's an egg. But first.
So wait, you're supposed to just run around and.
Yeah, that's another one of those pots that I have to break it a bunch of times before it actually breaks for real.
Oh. Does it reset at all, or is it just once you pop it, it'll go to its location and stay there?
Yes, that.
Okay.
Jeez, head teeth.
He's got like weird little like spider legs or something.
Spider legs.
Doesn't he? Well, I mean, like he's got the rope, but every once in a while when you see him jump, he's got like these little like I don't know extensions or tentacles or like spider legs or something, like kind of like jumping.
I'm sure that's not just his robe, like hanging down.
I'm pretty sure, unless it's like a visual glitch or I'm just seeing things, but.
Well, I'm sure we'll see him again soon. I'll check then. I'm just gonna get this real
Why
quick.
is Panda so small? Are they children?
Probably. I don't know. Well, most of the species in this world are actually small. Like think about every single NPC we've run into. They've all been around the same size.
Yeah, I find it kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like they're all the chibi versions of what they might have actually were supposed to be or something.
You know, remember how we were talking about in one of the last episodes? Not any of the recent ones. I think it was like Spyro 3 episode 1 or something. So it's been a few months since we talked about it. But I remember we were, well, I don't remember. I was rewatching the clip, right? And we're talking about how Spyro might actually have been what led me to have my love for the concept of teleportation. Do you remember this conversation at all?
Yeah, because it was like one of the first games I had that sort of like Stargate idea that you're.
Yeah.
So
I'm also thinking, what if Spyro is also what led me to become a furry? Because there's all these animal people,
and that definitely wouldn't surprise me, given that you played literally as a dragon, which was one of the big prominent communities of being a furry.
Yeah, and actually, my first original idea for a character was to be a dragon. I wanted to be a dragon before I decided on cat. So that I'm probably realizing that Spyro had probably a massive influence on my life, actually.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which, for me, I guess the equivalent would have been Diddy Kong Racing, although I'm not super obsessed with cars, and I would prefer to be a squirrel, like the gray version of Conker when he originally appeared.
Yeah, I remember, actually.
The big fluffy tail, the little...
I actually remember back when we had Saturday nights at Stevens after school, you know, back when we were in high school, we'd all go to Stevens house. Yeah. We stayed up one night. Like, we actually, stayed up all night long playing Conker's Bad Fur Day Live Reloaded on the Xbox. And that was actually when you decided you wanted your character to be a squirrel. You're like, you know what? My character's a squirrel. I've decided.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty
because
cool.
I wanted my character to be kind of like Conker.
Yeah.
With all his trash mouthiness and fucking, just going around shooting people and doing his thing.
Right. So I don't know. I think that's kind of interesting to think about the origins of...
Although I specifically wanted to deviate from being Conker, specifically because I wanted to be a gray squirrel because I thought it looked neater. Yeah. And I just,
And you also wanted to be at least somewhat original.
Yeah. Somewhat.
Right. Which, I mean, there's not actually a lot of squirrel furries out there, so in that way...
Fun.
Yeah. And that way you still are pretty unique.
Yeah, I mean, there's I think I could probably count on one hand the amount of like furries I've met that
have squirrel sonas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other one that I actually still interact with and talk to anymore that has a squirrel character is
content redacted.
That's only because of his like one of his personal like worlds of RP characters and stuff like that. He created a character that was a Scottish red squirrel, like
yeah,
like it was a Braveheart and mixed it in with Conquer, essentially.
I'm not sure how he would be happy about you talking about him on the channel, considering he's very iffy about wanting to be considered a furry.
From the what he's explained to me, he's okay with us calling him a furry and everything and talking about his real name on the channel, just as long as we don't...
Well, he doesn't want his family to know, is the main thing.
Yes, and, well, none of his family watch our videos or even know really about who we are. The only ones that know about who even I am is his mom and his sister. And that's just because I've been over to his house to visit a couple times before. I've never even met his dad.
Yeah, so actually, it should be okay to say his name?
It should be fine, but if he makes a big deal out of it or says something, then, you know, Melody, or if he's already said something about it regarding a stipulation that he doesn't want his actual name associated with it, fine, go ahead and change it. But to my knowledge, he hasn't actually made that big of a deal about it, so...
Okay. I just know that there was a time where he got pretty upset with me for something regarding the,
use of his actual name on the channel or something?
Not on my channel, but like, I asked him if he would like it, because I do plan on having him featured on my channel at some point. Mm-hmm. If he would like he would like me to buy him an icon from looking at it, because I buy everyone an icon from looking at it.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you could maybe even use it for your channel, because, you know, you're Golden Wolf Gaming, and your character's a wolf. It makes sense to me.
We can make it a Golden Wolf, or we can make it Crits. Make it
yeah.
a dragon thing, please. God.
But then he got pretty upset, I guess, because he thought that I was trying to force him to, like... What was he upset about? Like, it was a misunderstanding for sure.
What, he thought you were forcibly trying to integrate him into the channel that he didn't want to be a part of or something? Like, merging with his or something? I guess what was he upset about?
It was something... Because it confused me, too, at the time, and I think he explained it since then, and it was just, like, a misunderstanding.
Uh-huh.
But he thought that I was trying to really push him to, like, be more open about the furry thing, and he's like, I don't want to do that, because I got family who's gonna be on my ass about it, or whatever.
Well, I personally would encourage him to be more open about it, because...
Well, yeah, I mean, I would too, but again, it's personal preference.
Right. That's why I said encourage, but,
right.
You know, I mean, if he doesn't want to, I can't make him. And I'm not going to go out him to his family, because I understand some of the implications of whatnot that can come from misguided or just flat out wrong views about these sorts of things.
Yes.
There are an astonishing number of regular people who don't believe furries are just people with OCs and characters and lives dedicated around to being those characters. They believe that generally furries are the what you would refer to as
yeah. Which, yeah, completely different things. I mean, of course, there are zoophiles in the fandom, but
unfortunately, furries
we do not claim them.
We do not claim them, and generally we don't accept them as part of our community, because that's like... It's like trying to get a bunch of, I don't know, like, African Americans to accept races as part of their own or something. Like, that's...
a weird comparison, but sure.
Okay, yeah, that was a bad idea. Melody, scratch that, please. But it's... I can't think of a good analogy.
Well, the point is that people like to conflate the two, and it's just not the case.
Right. I mean, like you said, of course, there is some overlap between people who are furries and who also are, you know, zoos, but that's not
a very small portion of the community, and we do not accept them.
And if you do accept them, frankly, I question.
Well, if I had my club, you'd all be in
fool.
Oh yeah, his name is Bentley. I guess I got it. I remembered correctly.
Huh. I missed like everything in this, so what's going on?
Basically, the sorceress was like, Bianca, you're a failure. I'm gonna design the next monster because you can't be trusted to do that because the last one you made failed to beat Spyro.
So she made what, that?
Yeah.
Which looks kind of like Leatherhead.
I guess.
My tactical instincts told me the sorceress would attack you here, so I flew in to help out. It seems my rocket launchers don't affect this creature, but I can assist you by dropping ammunition. Now get in there and fight the good fight.
So do you play as him or?
Nope.
But you played as what's her face in the previous one?
No, we didn't. Remember, we still were the ones that knocked him in the lava. All she did was like ground pound him.
I thought there was a boss level where we played as Sheila against one of them.
No, the last boss we still played as Spyro, but Sheila was there helping us, and you were like,
right, I was complaining about it because like she's jumping on them while he's already in the water.
Yeah.
Like, what is that even accomplishing?
all right.
At least this is kind of useful because he's dropping those weird little ball things for you to throw at him.
Yeah. Well, actually, he's not even doing that. They're coming out of the lake.
Well, isn't it supposed to be that's what he's doing? Is that he's supposed to be?
Well, he's supposed to be, yeah, but these balls aren't coming from him. They're coming from the lava.
Yes.
I think he doesn't help until later, until I get like maybe half health or something.
So that's okay. So the little fireball things aren't even supposed to be a representation of him helping you. It's just something that occurs.
Yes. Oh, there we go. Now he's.
Oh. It deals extra damage or something probably.
I think, okay, it's a power up.
Super.
Oh, now, hey, look, it's the thing you were talking about. The continuous stream of fire by holding it down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, why is it a super and not... Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like, why isn't that just like an upgraded, like, power-up you could just have? You know?
Because that would make it easy, I guess, question mark? Oh.
Who cares? It's just a platformer?
Marks is dead.
Like, for crying out loud, when it comes to platformers and, you know, powerful tools or whatever, Mario, when you got the freaking fireball power-up, fire flower, like, what? You missed.
I didn't realize I had to actually aim. It looked like it was
Well, maybe it is, but you gotta aim in his general direction or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Okay, he's dead. Well, he was born with a hat on. That hat is part of his flesh.
Well, I'm not one to speculate necessarily, or I'm not one to, like, force specific things on it, but because the name was, I believe, Monique, I think that's actually a girl.
Oh, okay, fine. The hat was part of her flesh. Is that better? My bad. I mean...
Although that does bring up an interesting question. So you remember from the first game how there were all those different, like, styles of, like, artists, like the ones that were dragons and
Yeah.
stuff? Does that mean all their equipment was also part of their, like, flesh? Like,
I don't want to think of those.
like all the artists and whatever just had, like, really big, elegant, like, blouses.
Like they were born with.
Hats and stuff on, and they just had it from the get-go.
This is serious now. The sorceress is planning a trap for you, and if she catches you, believe me, you don't want to know what she's going to do. Look, I promise to take good care of the rest of the eggs. I mean it. Just take Hunter and go back home before... I can't say it. Just go.
Okay.
Yeah, she's slightly, she's slowly turning into a good guy. By the way, I'm not sure if you could tell that or not.
Yes, I could definitely. From the little glimpses I've seen of the cutscenes and the way she's been acting toward us and whatnot, ever since we saved her, she's more helpful than hindrance.
Yes.
Or trying to be, I guess. You know, she's going through her little arc of being, like, unsure about it before, and now she's like, you know what, I need to help this guy because he's actually fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
So by the end of the game, she will be a fully fledged do-gooder.
Can we play as her?
No.
I don't know, I feel like that should be, like... I feel like that would have been one of the cool things, is that you could just... Like, on one of the final levels or something, you play as her and run around and cast spells and stuff, you know?
That would have been cool. Also, we did 2 levels. Should we end the episode? We're at 23 minutes.
I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, all right. It's probably good enough. See you guys in the next episode.
All right, bye.